Okay, this is also at Picuris Pueblo, and I want to point some things out. These guys are excavating, and as you will see, they're digging things out, and on the right, it looks like bones or tools or something. They're being careful. They are not digging a foundation. So they have ancient ruins, and this also will show that it's an excavation. Okay, back to the kiva. This is what I first think of with a kiva, and I affectionately call them the Phoenix igloo. But these actually can be seen all over the Navajo Nation. I haven't really spent much time in New Mexico. They could be there also. But this is what I think of with a kiva. But look at this one. This one is underground, and it looks like it may have been flooded over, buried in earth because the windows are bricked over and they are going underground. This is consistent with that video. What a beautiful roof. And here's another kiva that's not all the way underground. It looks like they excavated some of it, but look at the magnificent structure behind it. Here's a coma again in different shots of it. It's massive. And look how tiny the cars are down there. You know, that uh, in the background there, I can't tell if that's a wall or petrified wood. Not sure. Still in a coma. And we're getting into some close-ups. It sure looks like they built on ruins. You could see the big blocks and buried things with the new buildings on top. Here's that structure I showed earlier. And just to the left of the point of the arrow is clearly a person. That is how huge this oval shaped structure is. It's massive. This looks much newer, like maybe in the era of the 15, 16, 1700s. And I have heard people think that these pueblos are fake because of all the ladders. I do not think they're fake. I think they use the ladders instead of stairs to save space. And they also this looks like it on the left that it's built into earlier structures. These structures look very old. Look at the thickness of the walls. These were massively huge. And this is a reflection. I think they were destroyed with mass catastrophe. There's a really big kiva. And remember that the roofs are missing. And we don't know how much is buried. Here's, this wall, it looks like chunks of rock are falling off. Whether this was a structure or not, I don't know. I feel like I need to be very cautious about assuming anything. And here you could see where it looks like it's been buried on the right hand side, like on the far left upper. It looks like there's some of the wall intact, and as you move to the right, it's disappearing. But the workmanship is just astonishingly beautiful. I think this is that same kiva. It sure looks like it with the rocked in windows. It's hard to say how old this one is, um, but people don't build a foundation that deep. This is clearly filled with mud from some type disaster. Here's it looks, a refurbished kiva, very cleaned up, but the structure in the background is enormous. It makes me think of beat down castle like structures, that you would find, say, in Europe. Very cleaned up. I, I included this. I came across it because it's so easy to try to see things in falling down rocks. Now, to me, I do not see any evidence of a building falling down. I see like a rock tumbler, water and mud maybe that went through and really stirred up what was there. You could pause to read this. Santa Fe didn't all the way make the cut. Mostly think of it as the Santa Fe Trail as a cow town, but it goes way back. This looks like a newer structure from the Spanish Franciscan era. It looks very thick in the front. They may have added to it. Hard to tell. This looks like newer buildings got built on older ruins, I guess would be the way to put it. This is from Picuria. I tried to brighten it up. But this, nothing on their site resembles this. I went on Google's map and I could not find anything to even begin to resemble this. I think it's gone. And they may be excavating other ruins or this underneath. I don't know. It looks like the foundation got washed out, especially on the right hand side of the footings. Hard to say. And again, that tower looking thing looks like it could be the remains of something, or this looks like petrified ruins to me, 100%. And that might be the remains or something new built. Hard telling. This, I don't know, it's hard to say. It looks newer to me, but it could have been something older that got refurbished. Maybe something like this. This looks like it was broke down. You could see how the soil is banked up around it. It may have been something very old that got reused. This is mega ancient. I mean, I can't even guess how old this is. This reminds me of, something you would see in Petra or somewhere. And it's clearly a structure. You can see all the holes for the support beams. And this is pretty stunning too. Um, No, there was an add-on. And I'm just going to say it again. I think people built up on higher ground because of these catastrophes. But like on the left, that clearly is part of an old building, that got flooded over apparently. And here's a close up. You could see even some of the wall structures. That triangle shape looks like a rooftop shape that caved or, fell down. This location is a stunner. I'm going on memory. It's Pyu, Puye. And this is a stunning location. You could see in the foreground where there's a brick structure added to it. And it's such a wonderful, clear photograph. Look over the lines and circles here. You know, this is clearly a part of an old building. Like the circle on the left was a door or window or something. You move over just below and left to the window, you could see where the support beams holes were, that line, and then below it, it's possibly brick. It looks more structured than, rock stacked up. And then to the right, the ladder, it looks like a parapet, if that's the right word, like a tower type structure. And you could see all the structure below it in that half circle, the arrow pointing at what looks like, a giant um, wall that just kind of slipped down. And the next circle, the far right circle looks like a support sticking out like a petrified board, and then more structure on the right. Windows, the second arrow on the left on the bottom. I mean, that could be a natural shape, but it looks semicircles, but very structural. Structural, can't talk. Windows, support halls. It's just a stunning, stunning sight. This has been around here a long time. Different angles. It's a beautiful photograph. It came out so clear. Okay, now this is in New Mexico. It looks like it came from Mesoamerica or South America. It is enormous. And you know what? In the foreground there, that rock thing got buried in mud and they didn't excavate that part. But you know what? This is not a planter. Look at how old and beautiful that brickwork is. Likewise, these are castle size. And remember, the walls may have gone up higher. They had roofs on them. This looks enormous. There's a kiva inside that rectangle shape. It's very cleaned up, that's for sure. And the workmanship is just stunning. And just the thickness of the walls makes me believe that these were not built by the 1600 Spanish people. These are ancient. This I'm not sure. It looks a little newer, and they reinforced the foundation and looks like they added flagstone flooring. Just very thick walls, stunning workmanship, really. But this one kind of had me because it looks like wooden support. I don't know if they put that in later to support bricks. I am not an archaeologist, and I've grown not to trust what the archaeologists say about dating things. And you could see it's been around a long time. How long? I don't know. But I assure you, the Spanish um, conquistadors or the Franciscans or whoever did not build this. This was around. And I am believing, or I'm coming to the opinion that New Mexico suffered some major catastrophes that uh, took them aback. They had built these magnificent cities, and, the catastrophes took them back in time, and I think the New World coming into their existence took them down. This looks old to me. Layers and layers of brick. On the right, there's some boards sticking out. It looks like they put them in there to keep the building from falling down. But again, I mean, this look to me looks like it's been around quite some time. This to me looks like on the right, a building structure fell down to the right, and you can kind of see maybe the footings of it separating out. And this on the left, that taller structure, looks like a bell tower sitting on the ground. What happened to put that on the ground? Something major happened maybe? And it's just such a peculiar picture seeing the stack of crosses like there's a, a cemetery in the area. And I think this came from the same building. And you could see that what it looks like to me is they did some work on the top compared to what's showing on the bottom. Here's another New Mexico castle. Just stunning. I think I had a couple pictures of this earlier, but here's some more detail. Again, the workmanship is just crazy beautiful. And look, there's a basement. Now it shows sort of a ramp to down there, but what came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. And with the climate, in the desert gets hot in the day and cold at night. And a lot of New Mexico is in higher elevation, so they're battling the cold more than the heat, generally speaking. But thick walls and a basement will keep you warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. And the American Southwest. And I'm going to end with looking at the Picuris videos again. And what do you think, folks? I it wouldn't be hard to come to the conclusion there was a grand society going on in the Southwest with castle-sized buildings, and it all got kind of upended by natural catastrophe and invaders. Tell me what you think. You guys have a good day now. Thanks for watching.